That's just awesome, going and disappearing into the back of the TARDIS. Right, are we reviewing? So is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, let's review. Let's review it.
Right.
Go.
Right. The Shaming of the True. Quite a good album title, maybe. Kevin Gilbert, who I don't think we've ever mentioned before, the godfather of neo-prog. Don't think that's true, but yeah, whatever. So this album was assembled by Nick DeVigilio. I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. I think it's DeVigilio. He's the drummer and singer who took over from the singer after the double concept album by Spocksbeard. And this feels very neo-prog, but of the time. We know this guy. He was in Giraffe, and I know him from this performance of The Lamb at the big Progfest '94, which is quite a famous festival of lots of bands. He performed The Lamb, not on his own, with a band. And I hear something very Lamb-like in this, obviously, and it might be like a personal journey, or it could just be like a Pink character, or possibly both. There's references to the music industry in it. It's that kind of thing, the musician's journey of being screwed over. Some really good lines, Bear in mind it was written in 1995, peak Ponytail. At that time of recording, it's all very accurate, that stuff. You've got a Lamb-like structure and narrative, much less hard-edged, and much more American, making it a much easier listen. It's actually quite 90s sounding in lots of ways. If I was to be critical, because we're supposed to be critical, it possibly thinks he's being risque with the lyrics, and he isn't. But the music is, though. For 1995, it is risque to be doing that, definitely. A sadly lost talent. He died in 1995. If you like Snow by Spocksbeard, this is probably better, or at least much less contrived, and much less contrived than most neo-prog. I'd say it is definitely neo-prog, and there are some great moments of this sounds like Gentle Giant, this sounds like Genesis, this sounds like Joe's Garage, Roger Watersiness, sound effectsiness as well, that kind of thing. This was and here's the thing: this album was assembled after his death. So 95 is a funny time because it's digital, but everything's on tape. He had no plans, he had no nothing. It was a very sort of creative thing of just recording stuff, and he was saying he's making this concept album. So what we're hearing really is a guess. Somebody assembled the album and guessed what it would be like, which kind of adds to the mystique and all that stuff, which is cool. Yes.
The end. It does add to the mystique, but it is also, I found it a little bit disappointing as well that it wasn't arranged by him, because I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought this is pretty good. I mean, when the opening track, I like the way it's bracketed between those two weird sort of sound things. But the opening track, the folk song type thing, is a really nice song. I think actually this guy is a good songwriter, and it turns out he's actually he's been involved in a lot of things, hasn't he? Producing, writing.
Cheryl Crow.
That's why I'm making work. Yeah, he worked with some collective or something like that.
Yeah.
Which produced Cheryl Crow.
Yeah.
And then she shat on him or something like that.
Yeah.
Big controversy. Actually, he was her boyfriend, wasn't he?
Yes. He sort of welcomed her to the studio. Do you want to come record some songs? I think you can sing. And then obviously she was perfect for the time, I think, of blandness. And he helped to make a bland album.
Yeah.
Which apparently nobody liked, but it was a huge hit. Or something. I don't know anything about Cheryl Crow.
Yeah. I don't think he's very bland. I actually, as I say, I thought this was quite good. I mean, it's got it is a bit of a sort of a cross between the Lamb and the Wall, in the sense of you got the musician that starts off all positive and all that, which you don't get with the Wall, but it starts off in the sort of like the epic form, like the Lamb.
Yeah. And
then the descent is a psychological descent of the musician that gets into all the trappings of the industry and stuff like that, and sort of like an exploration of the negative side of the industry, which I thought when I first listened to it, I thought, this is him having a go. He's not, because Kevin Gilbert, who the you know, what's Kevin Gilbert like? I've never heard of the guy.
Right, yeah.
I thought, here he is a guy moaning that he can't get a recording contract or whatever. But it's obviously not that, because he has... I mean, he was only 29 when he died.
Yeah, yeah.
And considering all the things he'd been involved with, you know, he'd had an extensive... a pretty extensive musical career.
Yeah, it was still to come, definitely.
Yeah. It doesn't finish as dark as The Wall.
Not as dark as The Wall, no.
But you don't know if that might have been the intention, because this has been put together.
Yeah, he might have been planning some awful ending of, you know, something terrible happens. Yeah. Although we had the his last song, which apparently was recorded outside the studio, so the sound effects are real. And that's him hearing a song on the radio he recorded when he was young, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he's old, but he is not successful. So who knows? Yeah, like you said, it is a guess. This is their guess at what it would have been like.
And that's also because I've enjoyed it. I think this guy's got something, and because he didn't actually finish it, put it together, I think I automatically assume there's more.
Yeah.
You know, this guy could. Which is, if he'd done it, it could have been pretty special.
Yeah.
But it's actually very, very. I mean, if you're into prog, you should listen to this because it's you know, it's definitely got very strong prog roots.
Yeah.
As we're going to say, it's probably a little bit too long, or it felt long to me anyway. Towards the end, I think what it is there's a lot going on.
I think that kind of album, it's so hard to make short. To do that in 40 minutes would be impossible. And
I think it's hard to get your head around in a week.
Oh yeah.
We've been listening to it for a week, and to get your head completely around it is quite difficult. You know, it was the same with The Wall. It took, I don't know, I can't remember what it was that got me into The Wall. I think it was probably one of the tracks suddenly hit, and it started my journey into it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it was certainly a long time for me. I couldn't tell you how long it took, or you know,
it's that slow comfortably numb on it.
Yeah, enjoy this horrible neuroses. Come on.
But yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I was very impressed. You know, it's a shame. You know, it's a big shame because I mean, trying to get hold of a copy was really difficult.
Yeah, we had to listen to it on YouTube. We couldn't get a CD. It's not on Spotify. It's been released 3 times.
Yeah. There is actually, should we check it? See what it's doing. There was a special edition available on eBay in Holland.
Oh yeah.
And it was like €1 for ages. Let's see what it is now.
It'll have gone for €2, but not bugger.
Oh. It's at 14.63 with 7 minutes to go. Plus £10.80 postage. So it's going to be 25 quid.
Yeah, that's too much.
26. Oh, it's 16.20. Oh, that's euros. So you're paying in euros as well.
Yeah, so it's still 20 quid. That's too much. That's a Magma album cost. That's too much. 15 quid. I'll do it easy. Yeah.
2 CD box set special edition.
There you go. We just offended all the Kevin Gilbert fans. We wouldn't even spend 20 quid.
I think that's worth it. I do.
Probably.
I think if you're into Kevin Gilbert, I mean, that is worth paying. I won't be surprised if there's a couple of snipers there. It's had 8 bids. Let's see what happens over the next 6 minutes.
Yeah, let's not spoil it. In fact, we want to see what happens. There's probably 1 minute to go. It'll go £100.
It means we've got to extend this review by 6 minutes.
Yeah. So now I'm going to talk very slowly about. I do like the start. Like you said, it's like that sound at the start. It's Nurse with Wound stuff. It's just
yeah.
And then it fades and it goes nice. The noise goes
really nice.
Yeah. And then you get the song, acoustic song. Now to me, it just sounded so familiar. I was like, this is so familiar. It's very 90s. And then I just realised it just sounds like Spock's Beard just after this album came out. That's what it is. And it's not just that. I hear a Roger Waters thing. I hear a Floyd. The sound effects as well. The riffs are 90s rock, though. They're sort of hard-edged riffiness. you know. But that I hear later period Peter Gabriel as well, you know. And if you're gonna, I mean, you said, you know, if you like prog, you should listen to this. But specifically, the way to recommend it is this is the link between The Lamb and Snow by Spoxbeard. That's how you get from there to there. Is actually this album. It turns out, Snow by Spoxbeard is just a rip off of this. It literally is. I didn't realise just how much, you know. But after that song, you expect Broadway Melody of 1974 to kick in almost, and it almost does. It's not like it's not as good as that, but that's obviously what he was going for, obviously, which is great. So the question is, how much is it contemporary and how much is it neo-prog? Because it kind of does both very well. I think that's what's clever about it. Actually, I think that's in that sense it's very contrived. Or it's just the music he liked. In that it does sound like contemporary rock music of the time, but it's definitely prog. It's definitely neo-prog. Now here's the thing. I think my impression is, I don't really know, I haven't heard much talk about it. I think this is like a sacred relic of the time. So I think we're going to make some new viewers angry, even if we like it. Just by talking about it. No, don't even look at it. It's not there, no. You hear the sustain on it. No, just listen to that sustain. It's not playing, but if it was playing, you know, but don't even look at it. And I wonder if he had lived, would we have had a sort of commercial prog charting? You know? Would have this been like a big, maybe not this album, but would he have actually in the end been a massive stadium selling thing of prog? You know, all the neo-prog bands they could exist because of the internet, because of the global reach of that. But they were never big bands. They could do it because of the way you could be global without, you know, needing all the marketing people.
This okay. So the neo-prog thing, I kind of agree with, but there is something that not in this album, which you do find in neo-prog, and that is, it doesn't come across as pretentious at all. There's no sort of like...
There is no pretension.
There isn't a pretension, no. And I don't, for that reason, I probably don't classify it as neo-prog. Whereas Marillion, which obviously came a lot earlier, I would class as neo-prog. Because there is definitely a pretentious script for a justice.
Yes, yeah. Now we're gonna. Yeah, there's no script for a justice tier here. This is just he's writing songs about stuff.
Yeah, that he is actually probably quite familiar with, you know. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is this sounds so much like Spoxbeard, but it's not contrived. Like Spoxbeard is so obviously. Now we're going to have the big epic. This is what you will feel now, and now you're going to feel this because it's like prog. That never happens, you know. I mean, there's one bit where it sounds like Gentle Giant, the a cappella vocals bit. I mean, that's definitely a moment of, oh, I like Gentle Giant. Do you like Gentle Giant? We like Gentle Giant. Do you remember Gentle Giant? But it's awesome as well. So you know, that's the thing. He's doing that. So it is literally in the meaning of the phrase neo-prog, without it falling into that trap of you know, if you remake The Lamb, it doesn't mean you've got another Lamb that's as good as The Lamb. It means, oh, do you remember that good album? Just, you know, and it doesn't do that. This is its own thing, which is great.
Yeah. Whether it would have translated into a stadium tour and sort of brought prog back into sort of mainstream music, I don't know really. I mean, there is a definite positive energy to it, yeah, which is quite refreshing
and quite prog.
It was like,
in the real sense,
like Mr. Bungle. You know, that first Mr. Bungle album. The real thing was it was relentlessly good, energetic. It was just good. Yeah. There is that sort of that vibe almost.
Yeah, so much of what we review, some of it at some point on the album will be ugh. And it never does that. It never does that. There was a weird moment halfway through where I suddenly had to put it off and put on Fire by Arthur Brown. I don't know what that was. but yeah, it's not boring. No. Basically, that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, but that's the thing. If it had, how would that have changed things? Wouldn't have things been different? You know. Did you read a thing?
No way.
What is it? Go on.
That's gone. It's gone now.
Oh.
It went for €58.99, €12 shipping.
There you go. Yeah. So it was never going to happen.
No.
Should have bought it for $20. Too late. But yeah, I mean, the reason we can't think of that is because things would have been so different. You know, what would have happened later with the industry collapsing and everything? With that kind of music successful? You know, the industry collapsed because no one cared. Well, I can get it for free and it doesn't matter. The music doesn't matter. That's, you know. So, who knows? That's a good way to end the review. There you go. Who knows?
Who knows?
5
eggs.
eggs.
Yeah, it is 5 eggs, I reckon.
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good recommendation from Patreon for us to review.
Perfect recommendation, yeah.
Yeah.
And that we wouldn't have done it because we couldn't get it.
Yeah. We had to be slightly dodgy over it and watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Right.
What are we doing next?
You know my name.
You know my name.
Look up the number. I think it's going to be Harmonium.